Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2018 Hungry Dog Criterium Pro 123 race. My name is Ricky, and I'm going to be announcing this from the point of view of the Virgin. Cycling Virgin's got cameras front and rear rolling for us on this beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Phoenix, Arizona. Perfect weather out. Couldn't ask for a nicer day to race your bicycle, and just super excited to be bringing you this race. It's shaping up to be a good one here. We got a couple pros just sprinkled in for fun flavoring. We've got some big teams. Landis Trek was in here with 6 or so strong riders. Bicycle accident attorneys as well in the neon kits. There's Landis in the green. That little attack there in the red jersey. Those are the Jet Set guys out of Mesa. So some good teams represented in here, as well as Bicycle House Racing. That's the team that CV is on. Moving forward here, attacks are already going, guys. We're just a few minutes into this race, and attacks are flying off the front. This is a fast race. Hold on, it's gonna get real quick here in a hurry. So what you're seeing here is lap number 1, and just everyone feeling each other out here. You got one of the fastest pros in the United States racing in this race, and everybody knows it. Brandon McNulty is in here of Rally Cycling. He's in that orange jersey up there. Had one lady teammate with him. Very strong rider herself in this men's pro race. Yeah, look for them to be a force. But everybody knows Brandon McNulty is the force to be reckoned with in this race. So really, breakaways without him, I don't even know if they're worth worrying about. And I think that's what CV is going to do here. He's kind of eyeing up the competition, kind of saying to himself, look, if McNulty isn't in the break, then I don't need to be there. But we'll see if CV has the fitness to hold on. The fitness to try to go after some of these breaks. I mean, these guys are super strong. McNulty, I think, is averaging 17 hours a week on the bicycle currently. I think CV's averaging something like 3. No big deal. We're racing. It's a beautiful day out. Good look at Jake Spellman there on CV's wheel. Just keeping things together, keeping it tidy back there. You got Johnny Corcoran. You maybe remember him. He's your VOS Cat 2 Crit champion. He's sitting just a couple wheels. Oh no, he's in front of me. That's a Brendan Thompson back. That's a South African rolling just a couple wheels back there. Got an Athlete Octane team member here on right in front of CV, and we're just rolling here now, just cruising along. The mile an hour here, guys, we're not getting an accurate reading on mile an hour on these uploads for some reason. I don't know what's going on, but keep in mind today's very windy. It was super windy, and it was basically a crosswind, and it seemed like it hit you on the front and back straightaway, right in the face. So keep that in mind. Speeds might be a touch low, power might be a touch high for what you would normally see. Yeah. There's a little breakaway off the front here. Kind of keeping an eye on things, but again, McNulty's not there, so you kind of just say to yourself, look, if McNulty's not in the break, chances are he's not going to let that break go. So you see it kind of forming. You see guys trying to go over to it. But again, Brandon's not phased, so no one's really panicking. Landis is attacking here. Landis's goal today, since they had the most riders and they had the strongest of the 6 riders, the strongest collaboration of riders, was to just try to chip away at the big oak that is Brandon McNulty. Just keep chipping away, and maybe he would fall. So they just keep attacking, counterattacking. Every time Brandon brought something back, it would just be a counterattack. Proper play here. Then you see a Landis guy doing it again. Brandon's brought something back. Boom, he's going up the road, trying to get something to stick. There was also a couple of pros here. You see Brandon responding. He doesn't like the look of this little situation here. Spellman up the right side. Corcoran was in a little break there. There's Johnny right in front of CV. Yeah, little breakaway, but now McNulty's still in the group, so we're safe. Athlete Octane rider on my wheel there. I forget his name, but strong rider as well. So you see it just stringing out here, stringing it out. Big watts, sitting in at 500-600 watts there out of the corner. little swell here, another attack that looks like a BAA attack that looked like Brendan Thompson maybe trying to go across to that little breakaway. But again, my thought process, CV's thought process, I should say, on this Sunday was just look, if Brandon McNulty's in the peloton, then we are safe. And see Brandon on the front here. It was not Brendan Thompson going across, because he's right behind CV. McNulty driving the pace here on the front. And you'll see him do this most of the race. So a 50-minute long race here. Excuse me, I think it was an hour-long race. What do I know? This is live. I don't even know how long it is. 60 minutes I think we're going here today, boys. Hanging out in the back straightaway. Hanging out in the draft at 400 watts. Well, 200 there. Chilling out a bit. Most of the back straightaway, you had to hold about 400 watts. It looks like you have to hold about 400 to stay with the group. Let's see what we hit out of this corner here. 600 off the gas, maybe a little too burst there. Landis going up the left-hand side again, covered by Athlete Octane. And then you get another attack there. Attacks everywhere. That was Jet Set going up the right-hand side there to go with that move. Little three-man break. McNulty gives it a look. Doesn't like the composition. It comes with experience, and you can tell the experienced riders, when they see a little breakaway form, they don't panic if it's not the right composition. The right composition for a breakaway, guys, is one that involves a teammate from each of the strong teams. If it doesn't, if the team's strong and they don't have a man on the break, chances are you're pretty safe letting that go or not going with it. It's going to come back. They're going to work to bring it back. Especially in a nice, evenly distributed amount of talent, power, fitness like this race has. I say that as Brandon McNulty's in here. He's the exception. But otherwise, there's so many strong teams that if it doesn't have one from each team, it's probably not going to stick. And if it doesn't have Brandon McNulty, I'm guessing 99% of the time it ain't going to stick. So these riders need to be aware of that. The other pro here, I forget his name, big European dude, goes up the right-hand side here and takes a whole bunch of people with him. Corcoran's going after that. Two Landis guys. As you see here, McNulty right in front of CV now. He's going to go after that a little bit here too. We're going to keep the train going. Telling his teammate there, hey, don't worry about it. Or maybe, I think he kind of said, because I think he's setting up a counterattack here. CV going with McNulty here. That little move didn't break anything up, just strung it out. Three guys off the front, Landis bringing them back. Three guys just a little breakaway. Landis bringing them back in. That's that one pro. Landis had so many strong guys that you just kind of knew that they were going to bring things back, and McNulty not worrying about it at all. Taking a look at the rear face camera here. No one really in distress yet. Race hasn't been that hard. We're just kind of maintaining, keeping an eye on stuff. CV's been smart, hasn't put his face in the wind yet, knows it's too early, and McNulty hasn't really attacked yet. So I think the plan today for CV is just going for broke. Like, why not try and win the thing? Little conversation there happened between a couple Landis riders here, talking about counterattacks, moves, and whatnot, and what have you. Look at Corcoran. It's as cool as the other side of the pillow here in this little tight swell. We're having to touch the brakes. I hate that. You hate that when you're in a group and it's a group of strong guys and it goes so slow, the group, when it kind of swells like this, and you have to touch the brakes. There's an attack. And that was McNulty's teammate, Rally Cycling. I forget her name. Alex, would you look up what's her name there? The other Rally Cycling. I need to know that information. Look it up for me, Alex. She goes, a little move. Everybody just kind of chilling here, catching their breath. again, CV is doing a great job not sticking his nose in the wind when he doesn't have to. And that's what you got to do if you want to have some matches left to burn when the attacks happen that really matter. Here we go again down the front straightaway, just kind of chilling at 30 miles an hour. 250 watts, no big deal. What a beautiful day here in Phoenix, Arizona. Again, just marvelous, 70 degrees, sunny. Couldn't ask for a better day to be racing bicycles. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying so far this race. If you guys have not subscribed to this channel already, please do so. Take a moment, pause the video down below, hit the subscribe button. Keep bringing more Critcasts to you, and we'll keep announcing. If you guys have any crit videos you guys want overlaid and announced, send them to me. Links all in the description below. We'll get them up. We'll get some announcing going on. We'll make some races happen for your viewing pleasure. Keep in mind, this channel is not sponsored. None of these races are sponsored. This channel is not sponsored. It runs on tips. There is a link below for tips. If you like the video or you like what I'm doing on the channel, leave a tip. All right, so it looks like we got one rider off the front. Attack looked like a Landis rider. And you see we got the two Rally Cycling members out there. Brandon McNulty on the front now, picking up the pace here. Bringing that two-man attack back, 31 miles an hour, sitting in, doing 400 watts down the front straightaway. And you see this weaving going on. That's just because the group will kind of change pace, and you don't want to lose your momentum. So instead of hitting the brakes, you're going to weave out in, that sort of thing. So if you see that, that's pretty normal. It's not someone being a bad rider and swerving all over the place. They just don't want to lose that momentum they've just built with that 600 watt effort out of the corner. You don't want to immediately hit your brakes. This was a pure headwind down this little side here, pure headwind for the riders, and into the back straightaway, which had a crosswind coming from about the northwest angle. I think I saw a flag on the right-hand side of the road that gives you guys an indication of the kind of wind. Let's see if we get that flag on the straightaway here. Check to the right. There it is. There's a little Old Glory, and you can see how it's whipping, and it's coming from that northwest, and you really need to stay on the inside of that, inside of the back straightaway to really alleviate the pain in your legs in the later laps here. So that breakaway was brought back by McNulty. Rally Cycling bringing it back. Landis now conversating here. Three guys in front of CV, talking about what the next move is going to be here. Brandon sitting near the front, keeping an eye on things. Policing this. He's the sheriff of this race. And here we go. After that little conversation, Landis up the right-hand side. Corcoran's going with it. Bicycle accident attorneys. He liked the look of that. And there's McNulty. McNulty doesn't get out of saddle, just kind of cranks it up and kind of patches it together. So he gets strung out once again, but no real big gaps have happened. Pain face is coming out here, but again, no big gaps and no real reason to panic as McNulty is still in the main field. Landis will keep attacking though, and here we go, another attack. If you look up the road there, that looks like a Jet Set rider. And a Jet Set rider right in front of CV here. CV rolling this Jet Set rider's wheel. And Jet Set's going to go. Jet Set's going to go with this break. So we got a pretty good makeup there, pretty good composition there. And look at that. Corcoran's going to go after it. McNulty goes with Corcoran. CV says, I got to go. Another Landis rider right behind CV, going to bridge this little gap here that opened up. CV is sitting on a nice wheel here. This could have been a break. Let's see if it sticks. Oh no, pace slowing a little bit. And the Landis rider patches it back together. Donkey label rider sitting right behind him. Haven't seen him all race. We'll see if he gets involved. So CV now sitting about the top 6 position here. Landis pulling off to the left. Another attack out of Landis. Landis Trek up to left. And everybody goes. CV back on the throttle here. Ooh, the Landis rider that was on CV's wheel had a little problem there. Donkey Label going to have to come around. And he's going to have to bridge this gap here. If he doesn't, it's a split. And it's over for the Peloton. And the Donkey Label rider patches it up. No problem there. That was a little bit of a scary moment for the group because McNulty was in this split. If that happened, if that Donkey Label rider didn't patch it up, that's it. It's over. So CV was in a good spot there, made himself a good position, just didn't hold. And the rest of the field's here. Now we're bunching up again. Everybody catching their breath. Phil Martins, look how good that chrome fork looks. Landis catching their breath, getting ready to do it again. Landis super active in this race. Bunch of Cat 1s. I don't think Landis has an actual pro in this race. Alex, check that. But I think they're all Cat 1s. And man, are they strong. Bud Lacombe sitting here, just having a great day in the saddle. Just looking good, feeling good, showing you what being 50 is all about. I got a long time left to ride my bicycle, and so do you, everybody out there watching right now. If you haven't started cycling yet and you're thinking about it, do it. You got a long time to go. Bud's 51, 52. Look at him. So here we go. When this happens, guys, when you see a Peloton like this slow down and swell, I mean, you can almost guarantee that a big attack is going to happen. And you need to be near the front. You need to be near the front when the group swells like this, because if it's the right composition, you have to be ready to light your matchbook on fire and get in that break. If that's the game you're playing. A lot of guys came out today and said, you know what, no, I'm going to sit in. I'm going to go for the sprint, whatever the sprint is in the group. That's fine too. It's whatever kind of plan you're playing today. But I think CV was going for broke here. He was going for the big break. Let's see if he makes it. About 17 minutes in, fellas. You see people moving up here. Phil, Bicycle House Racing moving up on the left side. Dark gray kit. All right. People out of saddle. Landis moving up a little bit. People jockeying for position here. Perfectly normal. They know the attack's coming. They want to be up near the front. Fantastic day of racing. Fantastic day. 7,800 watts out of this corner. 500 watts. People fighting for wheels. Getting a little dicey. Nobody wants to let anybody in. There we go. Landis out of saddle again up the right-hand side. Rally cycling going. There we go. Starting it out. Landis again. Stringing it out. McNulty. Not worried yet. Not worried. Just kind of staying in saddle. Man, what a great race so far. Landis Trek going to town. Rally cycling covering things. Bicycle accident attorneys covering. Great racing here. CV, Bicycle House Racing, covering things. He is our bicycle cameraman today. Oh, look at this little cheeky attack from the back of the group here. Up the right-hand side, Landis cycling again. Going, slingshotting, two guys. Jet Set going with them. That's a good move. CV says, I gotta go. Hits 1,000 watts. Moves up. Ooh, good position for CV. Hit that 1,000 watts. Wanted McNulty's wheel here. He sees a composition he likes. Landis Trek, Bicycle Accident Attorneys, Rally Cycling. This rider here is the, I want to say the other pro, right in front of CV right now. Good composition in front of CV. If this can stick, if we can get something broke up here. Nothing going. McNulty just bringing this one back here. Just casts the line in the water and starts reeling. So as you saw there, McNulty just reeled that back in. No big deal. Two-man breakaway. Didn't like the way it looked. McNulty wasn't feeling it, so he brought it back. And then the pace immediately slows. McNulty's looking around once again, keeping an eye on things. CV was with it. If something would have happened there, CV was with it. And here we go again. Immediately counterattacked by Landis. Jet set. McNulty looking at that composition. Looking. See if he doesn't like it. And he doesn't. McNulty's going to go after. He's going to bring this one back as well. CV says, I'm going to hang out right here. Second wheel, not the best wheel. Still getting a little bit of wind around McNulty, but don't want to be too far ahead in case a split, or too far back. If a split happens, you don't want to lose the race that way. So CV, great position for CV and Bicycle House Racing. Keep an eye on the front, keep it near the front, trying to keep out of the wind, and trying to keep an eye on the world champion, Brandon McNulty. Sitting here with the number 1 on his back. Now McNulty's brought that back. Now he's looking around again. Keep an eye on things. Waiting for the next counterattack here. McNulty just keeps kind of reeling back in. By this point in the race, tired legs are starting to happen. I know there's a lot of time when you see that on your screen there that the wattage is pretty low. But keep in mind that they're having to hit 6, 7, 8, 900 watts to cover a lot of these attacks. And that repeatedly, well, it'll knock it out of you. So here we go, the group's swelling again. Waiting on the next move. Who's it going to be? Who's going to get involved here? A lot of these riders know, based on your fitness, based on how you're feeling right now, you're kind of saying, well, I definitely cannot attack. I definitely just have to sit in and try to cover some moves. As you see, CV again, sticking around the front. Good positioning. Bicycle Axe Attorneys, same thing. McNulty on the front again. Just kind of soft pedaling here. McNulty really controlling the pace with this kind of pedaling. When he gets on the front and he soft pedals, it really controls the pace. It's really hard to attack with him on the front, just kind of pedaling at his normal kind of average wattage. So it really keeps things kind of in check here. The Landis rider was off the front and he got brought back there. Just one Landis rider, no threat there for McNulty. Now McNulty just kind of sitting on the front. So we have a little lull in the action. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe if you like the content. Channel runs on tips. Link below. It's a digital tip system. Works off of PayPal. Throw a little tip in the jar. All right, back to the action. It looks like everybody's kind of taking a deep breath here, getting ready for the next move. Landis starting to move up again. Landis Trek has obviously been the aggressor this race. Like I said, they keep trying to chip away at Brandon McNulty. That was their plan from the start, and that's what you got to do. You got to try to cut the big guy down. You know that he's got fitness, and you need to chip away at it. Because in a 1v1 situation, McNulty is just light years ahead. And you saw kind of that same scenario in a previous video of mine where a bunch of pink jerseys were just chipping away at me, and it's a smart move. It's a smart move, and you know, I didn't have the fitness to deal with that. McNulty here, though, he looks to be strong. He looks like he has the fitness to deal with these Landis guys. Obviously, different levels of fitness between those kind of videos, but still the same thought process, which is that you know, we don't want to take this guy on 1v1. That's not a smart move. That's why we have team, and that's how we're going to do it. So Landis still firing. Here we go, ramping up a little bit here. Brendan Thompson looking smooth on my wheel here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Watch it there. The Jet Set Rider kind of checked up mid-corner. Don't want to do that. Want to keep your line there. Another Jet Set Rider off to the left. I don't know if that was a mechanical. Oh no, we're getting a report, guys. Report that Jet Set Rider actually hit the curb. Yes, confirmed. That guy, Jet Set Rider, went off the front there and actually blew that corner and hit the curb at the same time as Jet Set Rider in the back was kind of making a little sketchy move there. So everybody okay, everybody upright. Mistakes were made though. Looks like he's back up and moving there. Yeah, it's a scary moment for the Jet Set Rider. All right, looks like McNulty back on the front. Did I see a couple guys off the front here? Let's see if CV can get us a better angle. Yes, there is. Little move off the front. We missed it. How many riders? 3, 4 riders off the front. And now McNulty stringing it out. Doesn't like the look of that breakaway. He wants to bring it back. So here we go. Everybody's getting in line. Get in line. Single file, boys. Single file. McNulty is opening up the tanks. The bomb bay doors are open. Shots are being fired. Here we go. CV trying to get in. Let him in. Let him in. Jesus. CV finally finding the slot in line here. In queue. Man, that was aggressive. People don't want to let him in. You don't want to lose that momentum and let someone in. I totally understand it. But CV had to force his way in there. Had to get a little aggressive. There we go. Coming through the headwind here, you get a little chance to breathe if you're in line. But let's see what this wattage is going to be. McNulty does not like that breakaway up the road. He is on the front. Starting now. That front straightaway he pulled. So 430 watts here for CV. Sitting on someone's wheel doing 30 miles an hour here. 113 RPM. Little chance to recover here out of that corner. But man, these corners are brutal. CV's not in a great position here. He should be a little farther forward. But in this kind of a speed, in this kind of scenario, no one wants to let you in, and you definitely don't want to have to pass people. Because when you have to pass someone at this speed, it takes a huge amount of wattage. So CV here just using his momentum, moving up just a bit through this corner. But you'll see here, I don't think these Jet Set Riders want to let him in because it's 2 teammates, and they want to stay nose to tail here, so they're going to try to force their way back together for whatever reason. They just want to stick together. I get it. But again, McNulty now completing his first revolution on the front of the group. Just big watts here, big watts. 4-man break off the front. McNulty is looking to single-handedly bring this break back. Phil Martin's there in a little spot of bother off the right-hand side. And he might have just popped. I think he did, folks. I think that's it for Phil Martins. He might have went after that breakaway up there and then tried to get back in. And with this pace that McNulty's holding, getting back in line is no easy task, especially after you put yourself into that deep red zone trying to make a breakaway. It is hard to get back into this. And here we go again. Jet Set not want to let CV in here. Bud Lacombe right in front. CV wants Lacombe's wheel. He's going to have to go around Bud and just kind of hope that his teammate lets him in here, which I think Bud will do. So this is just a hammer fest now. McNulty on the front, kind of a bad corner there for CV. Bud Lacombe not letting him in for some reason. CV trying to slot in behind his teammate, and finally does. After battling with the Jet Set guys. Things getting a little aggressive there. Jet Set not wanting to let people in line. Fair. Gotta work. Gotta work. McNulty still driving the pace. See people starting to breathe out of their mouths now. We're going a little faster here, about 30 miles an hour down these front and rear straightaways with a crosswind on both straightaways, guys. Because of the way the wind was coming, you got a little crosswind both directions, and even sitting in was hard. So. And you can see that breakaway. It's starting to come back now. McNulty's been on the front for, I think this is the third lap in a row now, and he's just up there just working. It's really impressive the amount of fitness that Brandon McNulty has to be able to sit up here for 3-4 laps and covered a bunch of attacks already, and I don't believe he's going to run out of steam here as this race goes on. We're now at just passing the 30-minute mark of this race, hour long, and McNulty's not showing any signs of slowing. He's a young kid, 20 years old, under 23 world champion in time trialing. Had a good result already this year. You guys might have seen. That was the Abu Dhabi Tour of Abu Dhabi, I think. If I got that correct. One of those Middle Eastern tours. Almost soloed to a stage win in a world tour. Almost, by about 50 yards, 50 meters, I think. And he's still driving the pace here. Down the front straightaway, sitting in at 400, 500 watts. Holy cow. Oh no, Rally Cycling losing a teammate there. I forget her name. That was Brandon's one teammate. She's feeling the pain in the legs starting to creep up. That lactic acid starting to build. Heart and lungs burning. Getting popped out of a line. That's how fast this race is. You see that flag there. Big crosswind. CV trying to stick to the right side of the wheel in front of him. Trying to use a little echelon down this back straightaway. And then he'll want to stick to the left side on the front straightaway. That's the best place to hide. Now that breakaway, 3-man break. I believe it does contain the other pro in this race, as well as some Cat 1s. And McNulty is just bringing it back. So literally what you're seeing here is one man bring back 3 men. So 3 men rotating on the front. They're slowly getting caught by one man, Brandon McNulty. And sitting in this line at 30 miles an hour, 110 RPMs, 400 watts, 300 watts, lap after lap. For an amateur rider, Cat 3 rider, CV, he's tired, he's hurting. At this point, it's got to be creeping up in his mind. Am I going to get dropped here? Am I going to get dropped out of this group? Well, what's the deal? But then you see the brakes caught. There's a little sigh of relief mentally for a lot of these riders, knowing that that brake's caught. And then look at this, you got to get on the gas here again. 700 watts of that corner just to keep all the gaps together. But that's it. The catch is made. McNulty's made the catch. We'll see if he's a little tired here or not. After that effort, that was a really strong effort for 3-4 laps, I think it was. You can go back and take a look, 3-4 laps. And the pace starting to chill out just a second here. People are just going to catch their breath for 1 second. Now remember, Landis had riders in that breakaway, but they also had riders sitting in the group with McNulty working. So perfect execution on Landis's part. Now you should see a counterattack by Landis, to try to further wear out McNulty here. Let's see if that happens. Yeah, we should see that, but McNulty was driving it so hard that you might actually see some tired Landis riders, even the guys that were sitting in. Jet Set moving up a little bit here. Again, Jet Set trying to keep their two, they really wanted to keep this pairing together. They were really adamant about it on the track. They've been really adamant about it. Let's see what they can do with it. CV using some momentum here, working up the left-hand side. Doesn't want to lose this momentum. as the group slows. And there's the counterattack finally coming from Landis. And that's got McNulty in it. CV's going to go. Bicycle House Racing's going to go for this one. Yes. Bicycle House Racing going with the Jet Set Rider, as that has McNulty in it. That's the counter move. This could be it. This could be the breakaway that sticks here. Big gap behind CV. He's in great position. Ooh, Athlete Octane Rider bringing it back together again. So that Athlete Octane Rider saved the group once again. Keeping it together. And now we're all back. McNulty's settled down. Should see a counter move here again, as that was, I believe, McNulty attacking. There's one rider up the road. There's the counter. Jet Set Racing counterattacks. McNulty goes. CV wants to be in there. Corcoran wants to be in there. Bicycle House Racing, Bicycle Accident Attorneys Racing, they're going to go. There goes Corcoran. CV says, I got to go with this one as well. This is second one. Cycling Virgin is going for it with Corcoran. This could be the break. No, it's not. It's not going to be the break. But two moves there, two big moves. Could have been the winning breakaway. It still could be. There's a little split in the back, guys. This could be it. Did CV make the winning move here? He's with very strong riders. He's with McNulty, Corcoran. All teams represented. Athlete Octane there. Nope, McNulty does not pull through and bring it back. He lets off the gas. So, man, that would have been a cool move there for CV if he had just made that one. Two riders up the road. McNulty doesn't feel like he had to do anything there. He didn't like that composition up the road, so McNulty now looking around, waiting for the counterattack. CV just burned a bunch of matches. The Virgin is tired. And there goes a counter move by Jet Set, the other Jet Set rider going, as well as, what do I see up there, a Landis rider. So counter moves go. McNulty fading to the back. Is he finally tired? I'm just kidding. McNulty's taking up position at the rear of the battlefield or something. What's he got cooking back there? CV here a little tired. You see Corcoran following Johnny's wheel. Yeah, Johnny and Cycling Virgin just went after two monstrous attacks, two moves that looked really good as far as, you know, moves that could stick, that had the right composition, and now they're pretty tired, for sure. Let's see what happens here. Two guys up the road. Let's see what kind of attacks and moves they can stick with now. But just being active in this race, it's good to see. It's good to see the activeness out of these two teams. These two teams, I mean, Bicycle Accident Attorney is a Cat 2 team. Bicycle House Racing is a Cat 3 team. So to be active in this Pro 1, 2, 3 and try to get into some of these breaks, you know, it's just good to see it. You know, tip of the hat. McNulty kind of hovering around the back there. He's got something cooking. You got to think that Brandon McNulty hovering around the back of the group for the first time today. There's something cooking. There's something cooking in his mind back there. He's not back there because he's tired. And here he goes. Here he goes. McNulty, huge attack from the very back of the group. Holy cow. Who's going to go with it? Everybody stands up. McNulty's first attack of the day. He's going to try to get up to those two riders that are up the road. Doesn't want to bring anybody with him, and he accomplishes that. If you go from that far back with that speed, no one can get to your wheel. So McNulty jumps his way to the little breakaway of two men up the road. Like that composition. Must have been one of the pros up there, and he wanted to get to it with no one else around. So no one really in a position here. CV's not in a position to go with that, obviously. He just covered two attacks, super tired, 30-mile-an-hour pace all the time. Corcoran didn't have anything to respond there. Or he might have, but just might have been late to actually unload the bullets. As that attack, man, was just clever. As we saw it there from the rear-facing camera, of course, the riders had no idea that was coming. CV keeping some momentum here up the right-hand side. Looking up the road, CV sees that breakaway. Could he really try for another breakaway? with this kind of pace. And it's starting to splinter now. It's starting to split. CV sees it, and CV's going to go for it. He's going to go for it. He wants to be up there. The Cycling Virgin is bringing it back, ladies and gentlemen. He's trying it again. Little move out of the corner, taking a hard pull here, bringing it back up to these two riders, trying to bring that breakaway back, as that looks like a great breakaway to be part of. And CV stitching up that gap there. Donkey Label rider pulling through. He wants to bring it to the next point. And look at this. With CV out of the corner, Donkey Label taking the next pull. CV's going to go with that one. He wants to get up to that front group. Another 800 watts. You got to think, you know, the Cycling Virgin, he's a Cat 3. He only rides about 3-4 hours a week right now. He's got to be getting tired. He's got to be getting tired moving up in these groups and bridging gaps and going after attacks. Like, he's active. He's a Cat 3. Like, a little out of his league here, let's be honest. He's got to be getting tired, ladies and gentlemen. So here we go, counterattack up the right-hand side. There's no way that CV can go with any more attacks. Right now, he needs to sit in, he needs to gather himself, he needs to compose himself to try to finish this race. And we're about the 40-minute mark here. He's got 20 more minutes of racing. He needs to gather himself just to hold on. You know, he really shouldn't cover anything else. If he's smart, and he definitely shouldn't try to go with anything else. But we'll see what happens here. And again, you see Brandon McNulty just slip into the back. And look at this, McNulty up the right-hand side. Is it going to be another big move? Nope. Nope. Just moving up. McNulty just to the right of CV now. CV very back of the group. Starting to feel it. Starting to feel the pain in his legs. And it's not good. It is not good. Great position, though, for CV. Obviously has a great wheel. Number 1 plate, Brandon McNulty. Just sitting in, cool, calm, collected. No big deal. There's a little something up the road. Actually, there's a split here, ladies and gentlemen. We have a split. We call it a breakaway or split. McNulty's going to go across. He's going to go across. CV's going to go with him. Cycling Virgin's going to go with him to the split. This could put Cycling Virgin into the lead. Breakaway / split. And he's going. He's going for broke. Right on the World Champions wheel. Everything he's got. CV is tired. And there's a big split. This could be it, ladies and gentlemen. This could be it. Looks like Donkey Label rider working to try to come across that gap as well. This split has a bunch of Landis riders. And now the World Champion and Cycling Virgin up in this split as well. Holy cow. Does he have another effort in him? How many times can he go with these pros, these Cat 1s? McNulty, they're shaking out the quads. And look at that. Donkey Label brought it back again. The Donkey Label rider, he has stitched up a couple splits, breaks, and he doesn't actually have a teammate today. He's solo mission. So he's just out there being generous. Just being generous. If you see the Donkey Label rider in your next race, give him a pat on the back because he probably kept you in the race today. And look at this. More counterattacks going. For some reason, CV sticking near the front. Athlete Octane rider, Donkey Label rider sitting in there. Trek Landis right in front. Jet Set on the front. That was a little Jet Set attack. Jet Set been very active in this race. CV sitting pretty far forward. One man up the road, it looks like. CV does not want to miss the breakaway that he feels is coming. Now, riders are tired. Right now, everyone is tired, maybe except Brandon McNulty and a few of the riders. But you got to think right now, the next breakaway that happens, the next attacks that happen are going to shape the race. They will be the breakaways that win. And CV knows it. He is tired. He is pushed himself. Look at this attack up the right-hand side. McNulty with another big flyer from the back of the peloton. Who's going with him? Jet Set tries to cover it. BAA tries to cover it. Jake Spellman was trying there. Lost some momentum in that corner. Jet Set's going across. That's going to be the winning move, guys. That's going to be it here. We're at the 45-minute mark. Everybody knows it. That's got Brandon McNulty in it and a couple other Cat 1s up the road. Is anybody going to respond at all? Is anybody going to respond? Who's going to go? Athlete Octane goes. Cycling Virgin is going again. Yep, that's the winning move, and everybody knows it. If you can get to it, you will be in the winning breakaway. If you don't get to it, you'll be racing for 5th. And let's see. There's a big gap now. CV's got a pretty good-sized gap. Going to rotate with the Athlete Octane guy. CV is tired. You guys can't see it, but from the helicopter cam right now, CV's got his head down, real tired. Don't think this was a smart move for him. Playing a little out of his league today. And there's that 4-man break up the road here. CV taking a little pull with the Athlete Octane guy, but not much behind it. You see just 300 watts. Tired, tired, tired. Out of breath. There's the winning move. That's going to be it. I almost guarantee it. I'll put a stamp on it. Put a stamp on it. That's the winning move. So CV now needs to get off the front, needs to recalibrate, needs to take in some oxygen, needs to try to sit in. We'll see if he can, because now he's taking so many hard moves. And this Peloton's moving. They want to try to bring that 4-man break back if they can, as there's some teams not represented in there. Bicycle Accident Attorney's not in there. Bicycle House Racing not in there. Pink Jersey's not in there. You know, like there needs to be some work at the front. And CV just needs to try to sit in now. He just needs to try to compose himself and sit in. Let's see if he can even do that. Because, man, the sequence of attacks and counters and moves, they might be too much for him here. Let's see. You see Landis on the front now, moving the pace along pretty quick. They have a rider in the breakaway. That was a little bit of, that's a little weird to see. Don't know why Landis would be on the front, keeping things moving forward when they have riders in the break. Not sure about that, but, you know, hey, they know what they're doing. Cat 1s, they know what they're doing. So pace picking up here. Ooh, big watts again. 30 miles an hour, 400 watts. CV, uh-oh. CV starting to feel it. Gaps opening up. He can't hold the wheel in front of him. Starting to explode internally. Our camera bike is dying, ladies and gentlemen. Another 600 watts out of the corner. CV trying, scraping, clawing his way, trying to do anything he can to get to that next bike in front of him. Uh-oh. Trying to catch some breath through the corner here. This is not good, ladies and gentlemen. This could be it. This could be it. And yeah, I think it's going to be it. CV, our camera bike, gone, popped, pinged, exploded, done. Stick a fork in him. And that was it. So Cycling Virgin did not make this breakaway here. You see it finishing about 10 minutes left in the race. CV gets popped. There's the winning break, that 4-man break. McNulty ends up taking it in the sprint. And here comes the bunch race, a minute back, the bunch sprint. Corcoran takes it. I think now what we're going to do, gentlemen, yep, I'm hearing that we have Cycling Virgin. He's down at the track. He's got an exclusive interview with Brandon McNulty coming up here. Hold on. Be sure to subscribe, guys, if you haven't already. If you like the video, give it a like. Don't forget, we run on tips here. There's a tip jar below, virtual tip jar. It's a PayPal thing. It's safe, secure. Hit the button, leave a tip if you like the video. Let's go now to Cycling Virgin, Brandon McNulty. All right, so we're taking a moment to talk with Brandon. What are your goals for 2018? What are you looking to do this year? Obviously setting up the next 2 or 3 years where we all want to see big things, all of us in the United States. But what's the goal this year?
This year, it's mostly just developing, learning, learning all the things you need to have a long career. It's not so much about the results. I mean, if I can win a few races this year, it'd be great, but I'd rather, develop myself now and then win every race when I'm 25, when it actually is when it matters.
Sure.
So yeah, this year it's just development.
What, for those of us that are new, like myself, when you say you're developing at the level you're at, I look at you and go, dude, what can you build on? I know your FTP's got to be, close to 500, you weigh nothing. What is a guy like you building on it? You're 20 now, is that right?
Yeah. It's more like an engine. At a certain point when you're young, you kind of hit your max numbers when you're young, but what you develop when you get older is the ability to do it over and over and over for a longer period of time. So right now, for a pure 20-minute test, it's probably pretty high, but it's developing the ability to be able to do that max 20-minute power like 7 days into a race.
Gotcha.
After, 20, 30 hours of racing kind of thing.
Right.
Which I just don't have that. No one my age, has that naturally. It just comes from years of, getting kind of smashed in the European races in the big fields.
That's dude, that's great insight. See, I didn't know that, and I don't think a lot of people at home know that, because we look at you and go like, the dude's crushing it. Like you're as fit to win anything, out there. But that makes sense in that, like, you have to be able to do it for 3 weeks, because we want to see some World Tour wins, right, for the USA. So, are you working on anything in particular? I mean, we're hoping you're a GC guy moving forward, but are you going to concentrate on anything in particular, or is it GC?
I kind of like, at least as a U23, like get a wide variety of experience, and then as I get a bit older, you can kind of narrow down into like a pure GC rider. But when you're young, you don't really want to, pigeonhole yourself. Yeah. Because you don't know how you'll end up when you're, a few years down the road.
Well, if we could all vote, all of us at home, we're gonna vote GC.
Yeah.
Like, we want you to win it all. Okay, now like harder questions. What'd you eat today before you came out and won this race?
Well, I woke up and had some eggs, toast with avocado.
All right, nothing crazy.
A burrito, breakfast burrito, and then I went out and did a ride, couple-hour ride. Got back, and then after the ride was some yogurt with like recovery in it, and then some chicken and quinua and avocado.
You eat good. You eat right.
Yeah.
All right, that's good to know. You eat right.
At least today I did.
Right on. No like gummy bears and Monster energy drinks before the race and like that. All right.
After the race.
And then what do you eat after the race? Yeah. What are we eating now?
I don't know. I'm kind of craving Chipotle.
Right on. Are you going for another ride after this?
No.
That's Brendan McNulty. Like I said, I took it easy on him today. Let him have the win. Yeah. If you guys want to ask Brandon anything, I'm gonna have him check out the channel. Ask in the comments below. I'm sure I'll see Brandon around. I've ridden BOS with you before. You don't ever see me because I'm always in the back on. But I'll find you again and ask more questions as we move on. It's cool to have you in Arizona, man. I appreciate you taking the time to talk with me.
Yeah, no problem.
Looking forward to watching you bloom and watching the career keep going, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.